Okay, sorry for an error. Yeah, it is clear that the adoption of techniques preventing soil erosion would also help. So when you have taken the techniques, when you have adopted some techniques to prevent soil erosion, that also helps to conserve water. Okay, so where it is wanted, where it is needed, there you can keep. So that is the double purpose. In the next paragraph, 11th paragraph, it is evident, however, it is evident, however, that in a country having only a seasonal rainfall, an immense quantity of rainwater must necessarily run off the ground. Yeah, we know it. It is understood that in the country which is totally dependent on seasonal rainfall, so there, what happens? The huge amount of water just runs off the ground. The collection and utilization of this water is therefore of vital importance. Yes, we have to conserve it. We have to conserve it, and at the same time, we have to utilize it in a better way. So that is really important now. Much of it flows down into the streams and rivers and ultimately finds its way to the sea. This fast flowing water, what happens? First, it reaches the streams and then it moves towards the rivers and finally it finds the way to reach the sea. Now, what happens? Yes, it's a waste. The useful water which we had to use, what is happening? That is, we're getting wasted. Incredibly large quantities of the precious fluid are thus lost to the country. Yes, we are losing this precious fluid. We are losing this precious water. The harnessing of our rivers, the waters of which now mostly run to waste, is a great national problem which must be considered and dealt with on national lines. Yes, this is the time to think much more about the controlling of the water which is getting wasted. Vast areas of land which at present are mere scrub jungle could be turned into fertile and prosperous country by courageous and well planned actions. When we make courageous and well planned actions, we can completely change the situation of our country. So, how it is possible? By turning it to scrub jungle, sorry, by turning the scrub jungle into a fertile land, we can have that change. We can make Indian agriculture successful, and we can really get developed. And then in the 12th paragraph, closely connected with the conservation of water supplies is the problem of afforestation. What is meant by afforestation? Planting areas with trees, right? So this is closely connected with conservation of water supplies. The systematic planting of suitable trees in every possible or even in impossible areas and the development of what one can call civilized forests as distinguished from wild and untamed jungle is one of the most urgent needs of India. Which is the most urgent need of India? That is growing the civilized forest. What is meant by civilized forest? Civilized forest means they are the man-made jungles. They are made by, these jungles are created by men or the people or the human beings, right? So these civilized forests are different from the wild and untamed or natural jungles. So that is the urgent need. Growing civilized forest is the urgent need, and at the same time growing suitable trees in every possible and even in impossible areas is also very important. Such plantation would directly and indirectly prove a source of untold wealth to the country. Yes, it really benefits the country directly and indirectly. They would check soil erosion. What would check soil erosion? These civilized forests would check soil erosion and conserve. Of course, they preserve the rainfall of the country from flowing away to waste. The water which flows away as waste will be preserved, will be conserved, and it would be very helpful to the people of India. Paragraph number 13. The measures necessary to control the movement of water and conserve the supplies of it can also serve subsidiary purposes of value to the life of the countryside. Yes, my dear children, you're all living in the countryside, means you're all living in the rural area. You know it very much. The measures necessary to control the movement of water and conserve the supplies of it can also serve subsidiary purposes. The purpose is very less in the field of countryside. By far, the cheapest form of internal transport in a country is by boats and barges through canals and rivers. Are we using the cheapest means of transport? Which is the cheapest means of transport, Aniket? Cheapest means of transport? Aniket?
Railway.
Sorry? Railway?
Railway.
No, the cheapest. The cheapest than that is Kavya. Kavya. Anurag, yes. Akshay, okay. Akshay, you have sent an answer
Sir,
there. Now answer it orally.
sir, shipping.
Exactly. Where does it go? On the road? It moves on water. So that is water transport. Actually, water transport is the cheapest means of transport, but by far we are not using it much more, right? We hear much about programs of rails and road construction, but far too little about the development of internal waterways in India. See, actually, in India, what we are doing, we are concentrating much more on the improvement of railways and road constructions, but we are not thinking about the development of water transport. See, actually, the benefit of water transport is no need of preparing any roads there, right? So it's very easy then. And at the same time, so if you take the road transport, as road is made, again you have to take care of it, right? So much more money is to be invested for the development of those roads. But here in water transport, it is the cheapest means of transport, so that no need of much more investment on this. So that is why what Indian government or the people of India have to think, they have to think much more about water transport. Then again, the harvesting of water supplies usually also makes possible the development of hydroelectric power. Yes, when we make water harvesting, it helps to generate hydroelectric power in great quantity. The availability of electric power would make a tremendous difference to the life of the countryside. As you are all living in the rural area, you know for how long you will have power supply, right? So this problem can be solved with the help of generating hydroelectric power with the help of water harvesting. And that really makes the greatest difference in countryside. And really it enables rural economy. And enable rural economy to be improved in various directions. In various directions, rural economy will be developed, will be improved. In particular, it would enable underground water to be tapped to a greater extent than at present. Yes, yeah, when we make water harvesting or rain harvesting, it really improves the underground water, at present and does help to overcome the difficulties arising from irregularity or inadequacy of other sources of supply. When you don't have the water, the means of water, underground water will help you. How can you raise the amount of it? With the help of water harvesting or rain harvesting. And then finally, the last paragraph. In one sense, water is the commonest of commonest of liquids. In another sense, it is the uncommon of liquids with amazing properties which are responsible for its unique power of maintaining animal and plant life. So, children, water is the commonest of all liquids. Yes, in the beginning, in the previous class, we have heard that we have taken it for granted. We are not caring much more about water. As we have taken it for granted, we feel that it is the commonest of liquids. But it has the uncommon properties in it. Amazing properties are there in it, which are responsible for its unique power of maintaining. Yes, of course, this maintains the animal and plant life. The investigation of nature and properties of water, therefore, of the highest scientific interest and is far from an exhausted field of research. Actually, investigation on nature and properties of water is to be done, but is to be that measure is to be taken, but the research field has not taken much more care about the investigation of the nature and properties of water. So that is why it is the time to think much more about the investigation of the nature and the properties of water. Here, I'm going to sum up the lesson. If you have any confusions, then you can ask me here now. You can raise your hands there if you have any doubts. No doubts? So kindly raise your hands if you have any doubts. If not, I'll sum up the class here. Okay, children? Goodbye. See you again in the next class. Thank you. Bye bye.